let's talk about Faces of More Horror.
We've given our thoughts about these two iconic slash events, but however, with Billy Ween, I thought I would actually be in the podcast this time for the Halloween one, because I kind of missed out on the Halloween themed for last season, which oopsie on me. You know, I chose a Pokemon horror game over vampires, so that says a lot about me. So, for this third topic, we thought, you know what, we've got Michael Myers and Jason finally entering the ring, but in terms of like horror-themed franchises, characters and monsters, what other matchups would we like to see, or preferably what character do we want to see in, Death Battle for next Halloween? And we have gone on for a while, so I'm only going to bring up two that are definitely my choice. So, if you're familiar with my channel, you would know I've played a few Resident Evil games, to say the least. And obviously, I've played all the games from... now, I've played nearly all the mainline games. I've played the first remake, I've played all the current remakes, and of course, I've suffered through some of the downsides of Resident Evil 5 and 6. Thanks, Sean. That was a really great Christmas gift, Resident Evil 6.
Hey, man, it was on sale.
How many parts was that Let's Play? I think it was like 20.
Odd, because there was 4 campaigns.
20 hours of me just suffering. Me and mate played Resident Evil 5, and of course I've played all the good ones, 7 and 8. I'm looking forward to Ethan's daughter's campaign coming soon. And yes, people, I will play that for the channel. So, what was the thing that started my Let's Play on YouTube? That was Resident Evil 3 with the main character, Jill Valentine.
Basically what made you a Resident fan.
That pun was very evil. It was rotten to the core. You're my nemesis when it comes to puns. Alright, I'll stop there. So yes, Jill Valentine's a character I definitely want to see in a death battle. One matchup I saw requested a lot for her was, what was her name again? Do you know that redhead lady from Dino Crisis? Dino Crisis was another Capcom survival horror game with dinosaurs. I played the first one on my channel. I hated it.
It wasn't that bad, was it?
It wasn't bad for the time, I'm sure, but it definitely had some ups and downs.
Regina was her name, by the way.
Regina, okay. But I have heard they're going to be remaking Dino Crisis games, so, you know, here's hoping they do good. Another one was the Winter Soldier, because given in Resident Evil 5 she was brainwashed, but... Have you guys not seen Red Hood versus Winter Soldier? Like, Jill ain't coming back from that. In a similar case, Sonya Blade. Again, Sonya Blade, especially if you scale her to Sub-Zero, who she beaten, Jill's not winning that fight. But there is one fight that isn't talked about a lot, which I actually really like. And it's to do with another series I played on my channel, Parasite Eve. And you may know the character from my series, Blarg. But in canon, it's Aya Bree from Parasite Eve.
Oh, God.
So,
I'm pretty sure there was a guy who keeps replying to Death Battle Twitter and comment section with that idea, and it's been a thing for years.
Has it really? I've not.
Plot twist, it's Bill in disguise.
If you ever see a tweet, it says, if you see that person and he says Blarg, you'll know it's me. I think I need to play a clip just to give people context to why I call Aya Blarg. Aya Bree, age 25, occupation NYPD officer. Oh. I get to name her. Oh. I see. We will call her Blarg. Yep, her name is Blarg. Blarg Bree, 25. Alright, so Aya Bree and Jill Valentine. This is a matchup that recently I have actually been interested in because it actually makes sense. One, they're both police officers that work in a Aya actually works in New York, but Jill Valentine works in Raccoon City, which, even though it's a made-up city, it's clearly taken inspiration from New York City. And both these two go up against powerful monsters, of like some sort of genetic experiments to create like super creatures. In Parasite Eve's case, it's more so to do with like evolution, whereas Jill fights zombies and occasionally lizards, and they go up against some of the most crazy powerful mutants throughout their series that start off as just a man-sized monster to almost like building-sized beasts, like Nemesis, a giant zombie with a rocket launcher. Oh, suddenly I'm basically the one-pin willow tree from Harry Potter now. And now, okay, so some people might bring this up though. Wait, doesn't Aya have powers though, and can't she turn into some super-powered angel? Yes, I will admit, the fight itself might seem a bit against Jill Valentine, but I think it's not one-sided, because Aya needs to charge her evolution before she... Okay, I should be clear, I'm only going by the first game. I'm not sure what she's like in the next 2 games. But Aya does seem like she needs to keep fighting to then activate her powers, because if she misses with her powers, then she's back to Aya. So that transformation she does, she can't actually keep it throughout the entirety of the fight. Once she uses it, she reverts back to her human self. And Jill hasn't really been in Resident Evil since, well, technically since the remake, but that's like a prequel to the original series. The last mainline game she was in, I think, was Resident Evil 5, when she got those weird powers, which they never really dove into more about that. I'm very curious to see where they go with that. But yeah, that's a matchup I've been kind of interested in. I just want to see Jill Valentine in a death out, because the only Resident Evil character we've had is Leon, which, don't get me wrong, Leon is a really cool character. But, alright, yeah, so I want Jill Valentine in Death Battle. She's a really cool character, and I do feel like she needs a really cool matchup. And I think Aya Bree, or Blurg, is the perfect option for her. So, the other matchup that I would like to see for Halloween is a Greek monster, not some sort of DC or Marvel character. After Hercules versus Sun Wukong, there is a Greek character I want to see in Death Battle now, and I feel like Halloween is the perfect month for him. So, who better to have for a monster-themed matchup than the father of the monsters, Typhon? So, for those who don't know, Typhon is a Greek god who... Well, actually, I think he's a demon, but he's labelled as a god as well. Who, in the Greek mythology, is the most powerful monster out of all the mythology gods. For one, he's one of the only monsters that nearly killed Zeus. You know, the father of gods. Okay, I was hoping to get a wow for that, but never mind.
I'm trying to remember who this one is, because I think he's been in mythology books before.
Do you know what, here, let me just quickly get a picture of him on here. Just you guys just gave me the awkward silence, thanks.
Hey, look, when it comes to mythology, there's a lot to go over.
Yeah, I thought, like, me just mentioning he's one of the only monsters that nearly killed God would at least give him... Oh, wow, that's a big feat. Alright, this is the monster I'm talking about.
He was more so like the spawn of a titan, not one of the gods.
Yeah, but he's labelled as a god for, like, a lot of, like, worshippers from the time period. Okay, the thing that he's mainly known for, from what I got in my notes, or I would have had in my notes if I remember to write it down, in his arms, he has over 100 snake heads, each with the poison that, funny enough, is the weakness of all the gods. So, I'm not sure if they did mention him in the Hercules versus Sun Wukong. I might go back and just check in the notes.
Don't think they did.
So, okay, so this guy, not only is he, like, ginormous, but he's also powerful enough to go head-to-head with, well, the father of all the gods, Zeus. But...
by head-to-head, you mean he got his absolute shit wrecked by one lightning bolt.
Yeah, so I need to bring this up. So, the only reason he lost was because they gave Zeus the ability to, you know, wield the lightning that would have weakened him. So yeah, it did absolutely destroy him, but the fact that they had to create like a specific lightning bolt to actually strike him down, and then they had to imprison him. So Zeus didn't kill him. The moment he got weakened, they had to imprison him. And this guy towers above like like I don't never got a specific size because obviously when it comes to mythology, sizes differentiate. So one moment they're the size of a mountain, and then other times they're just the size of an island, really. So
You could say size matters not.
no, it matters in this case because, as it said, he is the father of all monsters. Now this got me thinking, though. What monster would I like to see him like? He's the father of monsters. What monster is iconic in mythology as well that we would like to see in Death Battle that I've seen? And that, my friends, is Cthulhu.
And I know you were gonna pick Cthulhu for this guy.
Well, Cthulhu seems like an obvious choice, because Cthulhu is also a monster that is one who's actually been worshipped outside the other gods. And yeah, seeing two iconic, ginormous mythology monsters going at it, like, okay, would this be on the same level as like Unicron versus Galactus when they eventually get to that?
When?
Maybe not, because I'm not sure if these guys can like grow to those sizes. However, in a similar case, if you were to scale these characters to zoos, which I think both these two have fought, they're most likely on a universal level, so they can get really creative with these fights. And come on, when was the last time we had like a big monster battle, you know?
Godzilla Gamera.
Exactly, and that was in season 2. Like, we need another giant monster fight, and honestly, I feel like doing Typhon, and people please correct me if I am saying that wrong, but I'm just reading out how it's spelt. Yeah, so get Typhon and Cthulhu in, because that would be a really epic fight, and given the powers these two have, like super strength, the ability to summon magical spells, I can see so much potential in this fight. Maybe even make it like a horror story theme, because when you read like the wikis of these guys, they almost make it sound like a horror story when like they're just brought up, which, hey, perfect for Halloween, you know, big monsters. And I do have a third one, I'll just say it now, but we won't have time to talk about it. The Tyrant from Resident Evil 2. And the person I would like to see him fight, I don't really actually have one. I just would like to see the Tyrant. Obviously, I would like to see Nemesis, and it's most likely he's going to get him. He's highly requested to fight Pyramid Head, but I've already said in a previous episode I want Nemesis, so I'm not going to go over that again. So, you know, bring the Tyrant, Typhon, and Jill Valentine. Those are my most wanted for Halloween, and I can see the potential in a lot of their matches. So, with that said, I think we'll now hand this over to your only mates. And you don't have a lot, do you, as well? I think you just have one.
I have 2.
Okay, you have 2 as well. Okay, then. So, we're getting a 2-fer as well from your only mate. So, give us your horror.
Okay, well, the first one, calling back to Resident Evil. Yeah, I want to see Albert Wesker versus Kazuya from Tekken.
Ah!
It'd be like a devil versus a mutated virus kind of deal.
Yeah. I mean, Albert is definitely... Okay, I mean, when you really look at it, is he really a horror monster? No, but, you know, he is one of the most iconic Resident Evil villains in the horror franchise.
I would say Kazuya counts as a horror monster.
Yeah, he turns...
Devil gene.
Yeah, so he turns into a demon. I can see potential in that fight. I have to ask, though...
Yeah, that could be cool.
What art style would you like to see this fight in?
Well... Honestly, it could work as either sprites or 3D. Because, look, Ryu versus Jin and Hayashi versus Geese. Like, both are fantastic episodes. So, honestly, and Leon versus Frank.
I think...
Why not go 3D and give Resident Evil a 3D fight?
Oh, yeah, true. True.
Also, I think it would make sense to do a 3D style more so, because what made Tekken and Resident Evil stand out was these were the big jumps to 3D games. Like,
yeah, true.
Because Resident Evil was not known for any sprite or like, because when these games came out, these were like seen as like, whoa, this is what 3D can do. So, I'm not saying it would be wrong to not have them in 3D, but I can definitely see I think it would definitely do them better justice in 3D.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously, like, 3D, like, hopefully. But if not, then, well, we've seen what they can do with the sprites. So, either way, it'll be good.
Do you know what? Kind of a callback for when we played Resident Evil 5. I'd absolutely love it if Kazuha beats the ever-living shit out of him, but then Albert jumps out of the way and just goes, "Man, I knew you were weak." It's like, dude, I've been kicking your ass this whole time.
Oh, and kick his ass, he will. Kazi is so winning that.
He is winning
yes.
that.
Kazuha, Kazuya's secret brother, Bill. I forgot about it.
It's just my accent, man. Don't make fun of me.
Yeah. I mean, you heard in Hayachi Geese, Kazuya is one of the strongest characters in Tekken without the Devil Gene. You saw him holding up Devil Gin.
Yeah. And honestly, do we really
Then he has a Devil Gene himself. And he has his true devil form.
Yeah, do we really want Albert to win as well? He wants to destroy humanity, or in his words, save it. It's like, you're trying to turn everyone into monsters, mate. At least...
Meanwhile, Kazuya's just a dick because his father was a dick to him.
Yeah, plus he just runs a criminal organization. I mean, I'm not saying that's better, but I'd rather a criminal control the world than a man that wants to turn us all into mutants.
I mean, either way in this fight, Evil Dude's gonna die.
Yeah, so... yeah. And for Halloween episode, I would definitely be up for this. And plus, Tekken does have some sort of a horror theme. Like, have you seen the latest trailer for Tekken 8? Like the way they...
Oh, the Jin and Kazuya fight.
Yeah, like the way they make them look, it's like, Jesus.
Yeah, you know what? You could have this like take place in like a dark, rainy, like mountainous region, and then it just goes to a volcano because why not? Oh
god, if that's in 3D, that's going to be an expensive fight.
Yeah, that's another reason why I could see them going sprites.
Yeah, okay, so I think for budget reasons, to be more cinematic, I can see them doing that. So, especially for Halloween, I do want them to go all out with the horror theme.
What should be live action?
I mean, I'll question how they're gonna do that, but
if they pull that off, though,
that would be it. That would probably be one of the greatest live action fights they've done. But what's your second horror theme?
Alright, funny enough, this matchup also has a commission track by Brandon, which admittedly I forgot to...
Mate, you cut out for me.
No, I was just saying the second fight I'm gonna name has a commission track by Brandon.
Yeah, then
which I forgot to bring up for Jason versus Michael.
Oh yeah, wasn't it that meme you made?
Yep. I've just been waiting for the third one to happen so I can finally put that together.
There it is. We probably should have saved that for a meme of the day for the next one, but you know what? We'll do a double meme of the day, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I've been waiting to use that for a long time, all right?
Yeah, so we'll use it. We'll use it.
Yeah. And the person who commissioned this one is Max If You Trades, who is the one who introduced me to this fight before we even got that commissioned. I want to see Teddy from Persona 4 fight Monokuma from Danganronpa.
Oh god, why?
Okay, you're both going to have to explain these two to me, because I'm not too familiar with these franchises.
Well, Bill, you've seen the Persona 4 anime, so you have a good idea on who Teddy is.
Well, okay, yeah, I do have somewhat of an idea, but I feel like I've only just, like, touched the tip of the iceberg, really.
Yeah, there's more going on in Persona.
Alright, so give us the rundown, my boy.
Okay, so basically to explain Danganronpa, there's kids in a school that's run by a demonic-looking teddy bear, Monokuma, and they're trapped there. The only way they can leave is to kill another student. After a body is found, a class trial is held, they try and figure out like who the killer is, and the killer tries to cover their tracks. Yep. If they manage to say who the murderer is, Monokuma executes the murderer. If they get it wrong, he kills everyone except the murderer.
Amoongus.
Much. Visual novel game made by Bandai Namco. All three of them came to Game Pass recently. There's also Ultra Despair Girls, but honestly, it's weird.
Yeah, and I remember Wolf gave this description about Danganronpa a while back. It's basically a mixture of Phoenix Wright Saw, and Persona.
Pretty
like,
much.
because of the art style. Okay, do you guys care about spoilers?
I've played all the games.
I don't really
Bill?
plan to play. I don't plan to play these games anytime soon. I've seen Max View Trades play Persona 5, so I kind of get an idea of the series.
Oh, I meant so Danganronpa, but
Oh, I have no interest in playing that game, so
well, they are depressing as all hell.
I've seen the kills. It's I've seen worse.
Well, the thing about the kills is they're designed based off the student's talent.
Yeah, and there's like the lead up to everything as well. Alright, so how I basically want this fight to start is, well, because Teddy's in the TV world of Persona, and there's these like TVs all throughout Hope's Peak Academy. Just have the fight start by Teddy comes out of one of those TVs, wonders where he is, and he wanders into the gym at the start of the first killing game. Monokuma's like, hey, you're not supposed to be here, get out. Then they start fighting. And oh god, everything gets weird, because if you've seen Teddy's Persona...
Yeah, it's the jokes write themselves, people.
It's a bear rocket thing with a missile up its ass. I'm not joking. That's what it is. I mean, here's like fully evolved Persona.
That's an Elton John joke waiting, and I don't think I can make one that's funny enough, to be honest.
The only question to that is, how does Teddy technically get a victory?
Yeah, because, well, okay, spoiler alert for Danganronpa. Monokuma's a robot, and he's being controlled by someone who is known as the Ultimate Despair.
Oh, I thought that was already common knowledge. Like, I thought that.
Yeah, but you know how people on the internet are.
Oh, I really thought that was like, not even a big secret. Huh.
Well, I mean, the game's been out for like how long? So fuck it. It's Junko. And
this person. The only reason it gets weird is because when Junko dies, apparently in that game, it's not actually Junko; it was her sister.
Yeah, that's the big twist. She was alive the whole time and behind everything. And the reason she's doing this is because she's just fucked in the head. And despair and people suffering, it's kind of her fetish. I'm not joking, she literally gets off on it. Teddy has to fight through so many Monokuma robots and just like all the turrets in the school, all the spears that can be thrown at him to eventually find Junko.
Eesh.
Which, honestly, I reckon he can do, and when he gets to that point and finds out who Junko is, why she's doing all of this. If you know Teddy, he's a super massive pervert.
Oh yeah, I think I remember you mentioning.
Yeah, and he keeps asking, like, Chie, Yukiko, Risei, Naoto about the possibility of him scoring with them. Side note, he doesn't quite know what that means. So, just throwing that out there. I want him to be so disgusted by Junko, he says, I wouldn't even think about scoring with you. Like, I feel like that's just perfect, because if you know, like, what's going on, that's one, a hilarious joke, and such a huge burn from Teddy.
I still don't get how this is Halloween themed.
I mean,
well, Danganronpa and everything that Monokuma is.
Yeah, I was gonna say, they're pretty crazy characters that... Okay, well, technically, yeah, I can see what Sean's saying. They're not really horror-themed in terms of, like, their series and everything like that. But I think the characters are so bad shit crazy that... Like, look at Dio from, you know...
the psychopath treatment, that's what we're going with.
Yeah.
And also, just look at Monokuma.
Yeah.
And the setting of Danganronpa, basically.
Yeah, like, look at what the series Dio is from. It's not very horror-themed, but, you know, he's a vampire, so, you know, it makes sense to bring a vampire into a Halloween episode, so... Yeah, why not more psychopaths? psychopaths need more representation.
Plus, the Danganronpa series has this whole like hope and despair thing going along to the point where they lose all meaning. Honestly, in this fight, Teddy is hope and Monokuma is despair. So
I can see who Sephiroth
fits with the theme of the series.
I know who Sephiroth is rooting for.
Well, Shane Despair is gonna die because, my God,
run! Sephiroth's coming.
This fight's a clear victory for Teddy.
All right, and actually, before we move on to Sean, speaking of Sephiroth, I never got soldiers. My boss in my workplace. Whenever I'm working in the store, when all the customers are gone and we're closed, he listens to his soundtrack. And no joke, whenever he enters a room, he plays the Sephiroth theme. He's actually a really nice guy. I'm gonna miss him when I inevitably move, but my God, like, imagine you're just stacking a shelf and all you hear is that theme in the distance. That's how you know the boss is in.
Oh, boss is here. What do we do now? I bring cupcakes.
He actually did. Every day he usually brings up like discounted food from the bakery. So I'm always excited to go in on Mondays. It's like, ooh, what treats are you gonna have today? Treats aside,
I will just add this to Teddy v Monokuma. While yeah, it's a clear-cut win, it'd still just be a fun episode.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this is an episode I'm going to be invested in, but you clearly have a lot of investment in this show, or these two characters, so it'll be interesting to see you talk about this fight when it's inevitably announced. It's a popular request.
I like Danganronpa and all, but I've even said it in the franchise video about franchises that should be in Death Battle. Danganronpa is probably one that I would not be that big on.
Yeah, although I think Monokuma is like the only character that's likely to get in.
I mean,
him or Kibo, honestly.
Yeah, because unlike the other students, just basically people.
Well, Kibo's a cyborg at least, so he's got that going for him.
Okay.
Meanwhile, wait, hang on, I forget his name. Who's like the big dude in the second game?
Nekomaru.
Nekomaru. Bill, I'm not joking. He cleared out like a field. Like basically, it looked like a Dragon Ball Z fight scene.
Of course.
Like when he was done with it. How he did that was taking a shit.
This series is weird.
Yeah.
Alright then, so, okay, we've gone on for 2 hours now, so we should probably wrap up with Sean's 2 matchups, because I think it's only fair we give him 2. If you do have a third one though, Sean, you can briefly say it. I'll just say mostly focus on the 2 that you want the most.
Got 2 I want to focus on.
Alright then, so, Sean, your Halloween-themed episodes, what would they be?
Oh, this first one I would call the theme of Mad Doctors.
Oh.
Because...
Is it who I think it is?
The medic from TF2 versus Dr. Richtofen from COD Zombies.
Oh my god, yes.
I see that requested a lot.
Oh my god, that would be
All
great.
the zombies, I feel like, could definitely make the case for an episode.
Listen, I don't care about Mercy versus the medic. Like, I don't really like that matchup as much, but this one I would be 100% on board for.
Plus, like, the whole challenge for the research team would definitely be on COD Zombies, because, like, the timeline is screwy.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Yeah, later Call of Duties didn't really do those characters justice, but I have so much nostalgia playing the classic maps.
And plus it'd be an interesting debate, because, you know, Doctor with the whole his soul thing, Richtofen has that summoning key to absorb souls. Because honestly, it'd just be insane. And plus, like, the Mad Doctor schemes would be interesting to talk about.
Yeah, it'd also just be fun to hear them talk about TF2 again.
Yeah, TF2's kind of losing its popularity lately, so I'm really hoping that, you know, that Death Battle could spark the fandom again.
I mean, just like the crazy stuff of talking about the medic, like when he was talking to the Heavy about this time when the patient woke up, his skeleton was missing, and the doctor was never heard from again.
That's the thing I would love, is the dialogue.
That's how he lost his medical license.
I would love the dialogue between
Archimedes?
Archimedes.
Fuck off. Anyway.
I think the dialogue would be fun, the theming could be fantastic, and the fight itself would just be nuts. And it just comes down to whose weaponry is a lot more wackier.
My money's on Richthofen.
Do you know what? If I mean, it seems as though he wins it, but if the medic did win it, how it should end was him standing on like a pile of like zombie corpses and all his birds fly around him, just like how his trailer ended. And I don't have this in the soundtrack, but then it does that doon doon dun 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 dun, and it shows him doing his pose. Like the perfect way to end that. But obviously, if the other wins, then what would be a good end screen for him?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be down for this or the alternative option for Richthofen, which is him and the rest of the COD Zombies crew versus the guys from Left 4 Dead.
Oh, mate, you really want a one-sided affair, don't you?
Yeah, the guys from Left 4 Dead are not gonna win.
But we need more team fights, okay?
I suppose so. I think I would actually like to see maybe classic Left 4 Dead characters versus newer ones. That'd be interesting.
Maybe it's like a same series thing.
That could be like the Red versus
characters versus them.
Oh, do you know what?
Versus Left 4 Dead.
I've played Back 4 Blood. Those characters are so boring. Except for Mama. She's like the only interesting lady. Like this old lady fighting hordes of zombies. She's like the only interesting character in the whole series of Back 4 Blood. How is it that Left 4 Dead 2 is so much better than that game? And that came out like over 10 years ago.
Because Valve knew what it took to make a good game.
Yeah, like, how is it the developers who made that game couldn't just recreate that magic? And they don't allow mods, man. I want Bricky Dave in the game. I want to use a brick and beat zombies in that.
That was fun, though. That'd be a fun matchup. I do have another one that kind of has more personal history with me. We've had vampires on the show, but what about vampire slayers?
Oh, I know where this is going.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer versus Blade from Marvel Comics.
I've actually been recently rewatching Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Do you know what? Season 6 is so far disappointing. Last season she goes up against a god. Now she's fighting nerds in a basement. It's like, wow. Talk about downgrade of a villain.
Blade is my favorite Marvel character. My friend Day, that's her nickname, is a huge Buffy fan. And back in high school, like, me and my friends actually got into this debate. Sadly, back then, this was like 2013, 2015-ish, Buffy won.
Yeah, I'm not sure what her comic feats are like. I know her story continues through comics, but I don't think I'll ever read those.
One example in the comics is her legs, I think it was. She lifted an entire train car by herself.
Yeah, if that was done in a TV show, I think that would drain the budget. Because if you've seen some of the special effects in Buffy, when it comes to like the monster designs, brilliant. But when they use CGI, it's not good. What's even crazier is the person behind that show ended up doing the Avengers. So then again, he also ended up doing the Justice League as well. So you know, pick your poison.
I can also definitely see like the story of this is Buffy is hunting Blade, because I think the biggest difference between the two is Blade's actually a vampire.
Yeah.
It's called the Daywalker, and a lot of his arsenal is based on killing vampires.
I mean, in saying that though, even though he uses silver bullets, because apparently that's a vampire's weakness, I'm pretty sure a bullet would still kill a human.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, imagine that. It's like, aha, your gun only kills vampires. Like, no, it just also kills vampires, you dickhead. Which, funny enough,
but still.
Latest episode I did see, Buffy did recover from a bullet wound.
Yeah.
So, I guess...
My friends actually debated about this for years in high school. The consent for us in high school was Buffy won.
That was the same in my school. Like, whenever people would debate, I think a lot of my boys in school would just, you know, they just went for Buffy because she's hot.
Well, that's understandable to some degree, I guess.
Fair enough.
Plus, like, sure, Blade has an alternative in Anderson, but Anderson wouldn't be fun.
I only love Anderson from the abridged show, to be honest. Don't get me wrong, the original show has some really good dialogue for Anderson, but I just can't watch the original Hellsing anymore without hearing Anderson's like crazy Scottish accent. Or Irish. I'm not sure. I never can tell with the accent. It's like a mixture of both. Whereas...
Yeah, I mean... It's a weird hybrid thing, but if they chose Anderson over Buffy, you know, they have someone who can play Anderson, I guess.
Oh, it's kind of similar when they got Tucker to voice Alucard and make him sound more serious. Like, I was just waiting for him to say one of his goofy lines, so I'll be the same with Anderson, to be honest.
Yeah. My hope is that Blade actually would win against Buffy, because, you know, bias.
I can see Blade.
Given he's a Marvel character and the kind of stuff him and those on his level likely like deal with, chances are good, is what I'll say.
Well, I mean, we fought that for many people fought that for Harley Quinn versus Jinx.
I mean, I was set on Jinx winning.
Yeah, so was I, but it's like, you know, just because
that, like,
one's comic book doesn't mean they always win.
Someone.
Oh yeah, true. Look at Wolverine.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and funny enough, I think Blade has regularly fought against Wolverine, and aren't they part of some like weird like anti-Avengers team?
The Midnight Suns, which is also getting its own game.
Oh, is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, the Midnight Suns consist of him, Wolverine, Ghost Rider, and Elektra.
Oh, I hate Elektra so much. Comic books, TV show, I hate her. I don't want to go into it. I don't want to see Spyfall. I don't like trashing other characters. So let's move on.
Yeah, I think that'd be a cool Halloween fight. I think Vampire Hunter versus Vampire Hunter.
It'd also be another excuse for them to talk about a sex feat.
Oh yes, you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I recently saw that episode when it happened. Oh, that's
Wait, does that make Buffy stronger than Homelander?
Yes.
I mean, most likely. I mean, she had sex with Spike, which brought down an entire building, and they just emerged from the rubble, even though they were crashed out for ages from the sex. Okay, this is going to sound weird. How does a vampire get an erection? Like, the whole reason... Like, they don't have blood going through them. That's why they drink blood. I never understood that.
It's also hormones can, like, kind of act up.
So happy Kier's not here.
No, you need blood for your penis to go hard, alright? I'm just saying.
Oh, what, Kier? If you're watching this edition of the podcast, give us your best answer.
Wait, are you saying he looks at a lot of penises?
It's Kier.
Oh, okay, I didn't know he swung both ways. Fair enough.
Well, I was just referring to, like,
Sex
sex jokes in general.
That's not a sex joke. I'm just generally curious. Like, how does a vampire get an erection? Do you want people in the comments?
I mean, it's not true, but still.
People in the comments, answer that question. Find some bullshit and put it in the comments to answer that for me. Whatever's the best answer, you'll get a shout out on the episode next. Well, not from me, because I think we'll save that until you're done.
I still
Oh
think...
god, I just thought of one and I hate myself for this.
Oh,
let's say real quick before I finish.
Yeah, let's show.
I mean, sorry.
Yeah, honestly, that would be one I would love to see do, and also try to show my friend an episode of Death Battle. She's never seen the show. She's only heard of some of the X-Men ones. She's never sat down and watched it.
Right. Okay.
I think, you know, having Buffy fight somebody would definitely pique her interest a lot.
If you can, maybe even get her to react with you if you ever do plan to do a reaction to that episode.
If it happens, absolutely. I gotta talk to them about that, though.
Yeah, because it's like, you're saying you've had this debate since you guys were in school, so it's like, it's come full circle. We're gonna get an answer.
It'll be just like Omega Sparks and SWATs on that Death Battle podcast. Battlecast, where they debated Rock and Ken. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. My two would be Mad Doctors or Vampire Hunters, because cool ideas, honestly.
And for me, it was Monster Slayers versus and Giant Monster Battles. Mate was one was just Psychos, and what was the other one again? Oh, Martial Art Fighters. That was it.
Oh, I thought you were talking about yours.
No, I was saying your one. Your one was psychopaths, and I just couldn't remember what the other one theme was.
I mean, Teddy and Junko were the psychopath.
They're both pretty psychotic.
I mean, Monokuma and...
But,
like... Teddy's alright.
Anyway, do you know what, before we wrap up, Sean, is that... Oh, my phone. Is that all you have to say about, your matches?
Yeah. That's all I got.
Alright, but before we wrap that up, mate, you said you have a theory about vampire penises?
No, I just have a bad joke for it.
Oh. Does it suck?
No, I was just gonna say, well, vampires are already dead, so it makes sense they're a bit stiff.
Ha! Oh my god.
Don't take that out of context.
To be honest, I feel like even with context for our show, does it with context sometimes makes it worse.
Honestly, it's mostly made, I feel like.
Right, so okay, so I think that wraps up.
After how I've been, I need a laugh.
I think we've all needed a laugh this year. Right, so that wraps up another addition to Billy Ween, and I've already announced what my big Billy Ween project's going to be. We've talked about the next time, and of course this hilarious episode that we've already gotten. So there is one more announcement I do have to make for the Lads Discuss Death Battle. Next 2 recording sessions, I'm not going to be available, I'm afraid, people. Yeah, so we're moving pretty much on the 28th, 10 days from this recording session, and immediately after my birthday, so, oof. I'm moving somewhere nicer. I'm moving into a house. I'm no longer going to be living in a flat. That's rent. Oh, we've got a mortgage now, so I'm excited. And it's going to be a new chapter in my life, and I'm going to spend most of my time, of course, celebrating my birthday, of course, so not many videos are going to come out for me. But these guys will still be recording them. Mate, you said you'll be glad to edit them as well, right? Because I'm going to be sorting out my house.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Also, side note, the 28th, that's the day I'm going to MCM London.
Nice. So, yeah, I won't be available for the next few podcast people. I know it sucks. Or who knows, maybe you guys don't actually like it when I'm on and prefer these two. Who knows? So, yeah, these guys...
You'll just have to bill with it.
Ouch, man.
What is wrong with me today?
Yeah, that was mean. Oh.
No, I'm saying, like, viewers will have to...
Oh,
You
okay.
tried.
Okay.
You tried, mate. You really tried.
Okay, okay. So you're not being that mean to me this episode. I'm just like, ouch. Okay, fair enough. I misunderstood what mate was getting at. But yeah, so yeah, I won't be on. But I'm not saying I'm not going to be on for the rest of this year. No, but by midway through November, everything in my room should be sorted, and I'll be back to doing YouTube videos and a podcast. So you know. Stay subscribed to these guys at least, and also, you know, we're still going to have these on my channel, just I won't be here. I'll be billying somewhere else. And with that said, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, let us know, and give us some horror-themed matchups you would like to see in the future of Death Battle. And if you like what you saw here, be sure to share the video around, get the channel growing, and stick around. We'll have more content for you in the future. Your only mate.
Is muted.
Oh, is he muted? I didn't even notice that. Oh, hold on, let me try doing my best impression of your only mate. Thank you, Shane.
I'm back.
Oh, I was literally midway.
I gotta wrap this up and go.
Okay.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe. If you did not enjoy, be sure to like and subscribe. Check out everybody's channel, share the videos around, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
It's like the moment he heard I was going to do an impersonating voice, he was like, hell no, I've got dignity. Sean, do your outro.
Thank you folks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this edition of Lads Discuss Death Battle. Let us know your thoughts down below on previous Death Battle episodes, SpongeBob versus Aquaman. What do you got in Jason versus Michael? And what horror ideas do you have? Thank you folks for watching. I love reading your comments, and I will see you all.